do a model preview. Yeah, so here we are. It's the LocalSupport weekly client meeting. Rachel and Jid and Alex there in Northwest London, and here in Central London with myself. Michael's here from States. Well, Anna is with me, I think. Downstairs, well, Peter and other people might be joining us in a bit. We'll see. Anyway, here we all are. Yeah, I guess I'll go on to screen share. Yeah. Screen do I want? I want to have this screen over here, screen 3. That's not what I wanted to sort this. Woohoo! Ah, okay. Yeah, so we've got the meeting agenda. There we go. Yeah, we'll just sort of launch into those.
Can everyone see your screen?
I can.
Okay, I'll rejoin.
Okay. So there's also it's funny this present to everyone button there, and we're recording, so it's good. Yeah. So last week, Rachel, you've been asking about the more meaningful URLs, which is the idea of having names of the organisations in the URL links. We've got a feature on that, and Anna and Peter, to Makers Alumni, have been looking at that, and we've got we'll sort of maybe start on that quite soon. I was talking this morning with Peter about this, sometimes the acronym of the organisation and the real name of the organisation, that there might be more than one entry, and that confuses things sometimes. I think there's probably nothing immediately we can do about that from a technical standpoint. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that's it's kind of there as something for us to be watching out for. I mean, Jit, have you found a number of situations where we've got duplicate charities because there is a confusion between the acronym and the real name?
I haven't actually been looking for those, but
yeah, so you haven't been looking for it, but you haven't particularly seen it. So I guess it's kind of, I mean, it's sort of it's more a comment from a previous week that that's something to watch out for, but not, there's not really an action item associated with that. So we'll maybe move on from that. Rachel, did Reading Voluntary Action?
No, I haven't heard anything from them.
No. We were looking at their map again this morning and reflecting on how they have some nice icons and so on. Loading us over here. But I don't know if you've seen this before, Anna. But so this is another part. This is out west of London, and they have this map, which has these different kinds of icons for the different kinds of organisations. And when you click on the different icons, you can see the layout of these things. So, going back over here. No, that's the edited one. So we have put the logo, the Voluntary Action Harrow, the new logo, has gone up onto the staging server for you to see. I'm just loading that in another screen. Small. Yeah, here we go. So that's this. I'll put a link to the staging. It might be a bit small on your screen, Rachel, Alex. You see, we've now got there's the new logo for you.
Yeah, I can just about see it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll paste the link for that. I guess I'm just noticing on that immediately that we should be updating as well the rather than saying Voluntary Action Harrow, it should say Voluntary Action Harrow Cooperative, shouldn't it? That's your new title is.
Yeah.
Okay. We were reflecting when Peter and I were looking at it this morning that I mean, on your website, that one can see the logo and you can read the text, but when it's scaled down to that's now different things. I'm confused. When it's scaled down to the smaller icon, it's not really possible to read the text. You know what I mean?
Okay, I mentioned Alex is out of the room at the moment. He's meeting with somebody.
But anyway, if you're happy with that one, that's on my update. That's Rachel.
Yeah, I mean that's fine. I mean that's more of an icon issue, really, isn't it? So.
No. Okay. Well, as long as you're happy with it, and I'll add the word cooperative. Something for the month. So downstairs, and Pete, I think we're going to mute because we're getting some of your background noise. But I've muted you myself, so don't go too much. Okay, so yeah, so we've got the logo is up. I haven't particularly started scanning for duplicates, and I could do this week. On the agenda item, I think we did mention last week that Ninefold are going to be sunsetting their Rails hosting. Did we mention that to you last week, Rachel?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So we're not. I think we still need to discuss exactly the responsibility. But I think we've got until May the 24th. Yes. So you're aware we need to make a migration there. One thing that's Carpet is so that I think we've got this in the pivotal tracker. Is so one of the I'll just do all of them. That's the view. So you're still going through this process of kind of scrolling through the individual, all the different organisations, and trying to find finding that this, when you go back, you lose your place in the scroll.
Yes, I've seen your proposal. I watched the meeting.
Sorry, say that last bit again.
I watched your meeting where you were discussing this last week. So there's one of those I can look at it in Firefox.
Yeah, so I think that in Firefox you'll find that we discovered that in Firefox it does maintain its position. The other thing is if you open the charity in a new window, in a new tab rather, then you could even in Chrome it will stay in the same position. So is that a reasonable workaround for you at the moment?
I think that's probably okay for Jit in his role. I think for members of the public, they wouldn't know to do that.
No. Yes, well, it's an interesting question about the majority of, how many members of the public are using Chrome. I mean, it's interesting that Firefox does maintain the position and that Chrome doesn't, so I guess it's still worth looking into. Yeah, we've still got the... we've got that as a... Do you have it as a feature? Somebody's saying my name in the background.
Sure, don't you?
Can you see it? We've got here. Yeah, there we go. Maintain position.
Bug, yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I've got. Yeah. It would be nice to work out why Chrome is different from Firefox in that regard.
I think we did it in Internet Explorer, and Internet Explorer was the same as Chrome.
Is it right? So the issue, and Chris has just joined us. So we've got this issue that when if you're in Chrome and Internet Explorer, when you're scrolling up and down here, if you then click through on something and then you go back to then you then lose your position in the scroll. Whereas in Firefox, it maintains the position. And I wonder if there's. I was sort of thinking, maybe it's JavaScript. Maybe there's just something in the HTML that we would, adjust slightly to make that more consistent. Yes, indeed. Okay, well, it sounds like we're all on the same page in that regard. Now I think I've lost. So yeah, and then it's the usual review onto the projects and find there. So we have now pushed out this ability to propose, to create a site admin and who can propose edits to private fields for the organisations is now out there, and I've got. I've got it on a browser here. Yeah, so this is the proposed edit interface. I'm logged in here as just an organization admin who I promoted to site admin status, and so now they get access to the phone numbers and other things in order to propose edits. So if at some point, Rachel, you've got a person and you want them to have that site admin ability, then just let us know and we can promote them, and they'll be able to see those things.
Yeah. Give you their email address.
Say again, Rachel?
I would just need to give them I just need to give you their email address.
Yeah, just give us their email address. And I don't know, Michael, do we already have a feature for allowing Rachel to upgrade people to different statuses through the admin interface?
I don't think we have that yet. No.
No, I mean obviously that would be ideal in the long run. I guess we can put that into the icebox. I guess the question is to allow super admin to upgrade individual users to site admin. But let's see. I guess first, Rachel, how often you end up needing this. If we can just manage it just on the emails in the first instance, then that seems reasonable. But so I just for Michael's benefit, we've got that bug here that even though the private fields are shown, it kind of indicates them as being public through this interface. So I've created a bug report for that, Michael. Just wanted to draw your attention to it. Does it make sense to you, that issue, Michael?
Yeah, actually, I'm aware of that
Okay.
that was happening.
Yeah, no, we talked about it before. I just, you know, I thought it's good to have it in there. It's not necessarily you that needs to work on it, but just I wanted to make sure that we had something in the tracker for it. So, but Rachel, are you willing to accept that feature in its current form?
Yeah.
Yeah, great. So we'll click accept there. I'm still working on the SEO optimization. I've got Google Webmaster Tools set up. I've got the sitemap set up and so on. However, our you know, if we search for Harrow Community Network, we're now number 3 in the listing there, at least for me, which is an improvement. But we still don't have the sub pages. I'm just in the process of setting up Google Analytics, which we should have to you by next week, which the website one people tell me is what they think was the precursor to them actually getting the sub pages. So that's, you know, kind of in progress there. Is I'm just adding the Google Analytics, and hopefully, yeah, I mean, I won't ask you to accept the SEO optimization until we're doing a bit better than we currently are. Yeah, and that's the state of play, really. As I was saying, so Pete and Anna are talking about starting work on this more meaningful URLs. Michael's been working on just sort of upgrading some stuff in the background, and I've been working on the Google Analytics. We've still got this idea of displaying more of the categories of the different charities as kind of the highest priority in there. I think John was doing some work over the weekend, although I haven't actually caught up with him myself. But the other, you know, things to work on next, you know, removing the Google form, having the search input bar stay on the organisation view pages, and other bits and pieces are where they were last week. Is there anything from your side that indicates that we should be addressing particular features sooner rather than later?
No, I think the category one was still
Highest priority.
Yeah. I just think it would be more usable.
Yes.
I mean, with the meaningful URLs, I'm not sure how high a priority it is for me.
Yeah.
I think it could be quite complicated just because the length of organisations' names.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's kind of, so we've got some new team members joining us and who are, you know, keen to start work on relatively simple tasks, and this is one that, at least in principle, from a technology side, could be relatively simple.
Okay.
But you know, so that's sort of something we're exploring. I mean, we need to probably immediately after this meeting, we need to do a vote on some of these other possible stories. But yes, if there was what we sort of got is a situation where the exposing other categories is relatively complex. The new organisation form is relatively complex. I mean, we could, for example, if this, you know, letting all organisation admins know that they've been granted all administration rights is relatively straightforward, we could prioritise that if you felt that that was more important than the meaningful URLs.
Yeah, that would be quite useful.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, otherwise you're reasonably happy with that sequence of priorities.
Yeah. I can't read it all because it's really small, but...
My apologies. You can make it a bit bigger, sorry. Yes, I mean, the top one is the categories, and then we have the organisation form, search input bar to stay on all the pages, and let org admins know that they have been granted the org admin rights.
Yeah.
And I mean, what I would like to do now with the team is kind of go through some of these other ones that we have. We you know, there's a few, like the meaningful URLs. There's the one we just did, allowing the super admin to upgrade individual users to site admin status. We've got the nothing changed button, rather than telling people that they need to update, should have like a link directly to the place where they to the place where they need to go to do that update. Something for indicating what the map icons mean, and then also like asking people to update via email. So we'll do a series of voting on these things, and maybe we'll get your input once we've voted on which ones are higher or lower priority.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah. Did you have any thoughts on the higher level direction of the site beyond getting these the high priority features in there, in terms of whether you think like the critical next step is events, or revisiting the volunteers feature, or anything like that?
Maybe the events I would put over. Yeah.
You're thinking that the events thing might be the way to go. You still there, Rachel?
Yes, I'm still here. Yes, events. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, and is that? I mean, I think I remember you in the very original drawings that you did for the site. You had the concept of the events thing. Is that something that we need to revisit? What you feel like the events should look like? Is I know it's something that I think Alex is. I mean, you arrange various events, and you do that through the Volunteer Action Harrow Community Cooperative, the main website.
They tend to be our own events. We don't tend to promote other people's events.
Right. So the functionality would be allowing organisations to promote their events through the Harrow Community Network.
Yeah.
Right. Right. No, that makes sense. Okay. Yeah. Well, if you've got a particular vision, for that, then by all means do draw us some more diagrams. Yeah, or maybe would you just like to see?
Yeah, I think I'd see it, sort of repeating how it is now with, I guess, the map.
Yeah.
With icon, like the volunteers, it'd be a separate page.
Yeah, so you'd have like an events tab here, and then you click on it,
and then it would reflect.
You'd be seeing a series of events.
Yeah, and I think the only thing I would say would be different would be the ordering. I would go with the ordering being the top would be the most recent event.
Yes.
Well, then the next event due.
Yeah, so this would be the event that's coming soonest, and events that have already taken place disappear for the time being.
Yeah, I think that would be the main difference. Otherwise, I'd see it sort of following the same pattern.
Yeah. Yeah. No, fair enough. Yes, I mean, then that would give us we could be extracting a lot of the similar functionality that underlies organisations, volunteers, and events.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Good show. All right. Well, any other agenda items?
No.
I heard about mindful. Rewrite.
Jit will have something to say. I'll get him to.
Yeah. No. So Jit, you're also trying to get set up with
what's the meeting last week? The Friday meeting.
Oh yes.
Now I think you were discussing about ninefold, obviously, on that.
Yes.
And from what I gathered, there was at one point you were discussing a rewrite. Is that really something feasible?
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the project has been going for 18 months, and it's had submissions from lots of different people, and there's bits of code base. I mean, I think I think we've got a fair amount of legacy code that maybe we don't necessarily need.
Right. Okay.
I mean, I think there's also So I mean, I think it's something that gets discussed. I think in the short term, we'll probably stick with what we've got and be adding features into it. But to the extent that we need to do a large migration to a different server, I mean, there's also new technologies coming along, and I'm interested in the extent to which those technologies could allow us to easily redo portions of the site and do things in such a way that made the whole site more extensible and easier to add features in the future. But I think it's not something that we're going to change overnight. It's more likely at some point. And to be honest, I think there are there's other projects that I'm working on that are perhaps more amenable to doing them on a different stack. But yeah, how are you getting on in terms of getting set up with the? You're continuing to work your way through the Michael Hartle Rails tutorial?
I actually haven't made any progress on that front at all week.
Yeah, well, not to worry. Yeah. Any other questions for us?
Sorry, just one other thing, just following on with this thing. There was something about talk about Docker. Is that the newer technology?
Talk about, you say Mocha.
Docker. Was it Docker?
Docker, he's talking about.
Yeah, Docker. So I mean, Docker would be a framework for deploying. It wouldn't be a new technology for hosting the system per se. It would potentially allow us to carry on using Ninefold, but we would sort of what Ninefold is shutting down is their Rails hosting.
Yes.
So Docker would allow us to use the hosting service that they do provide in order to continue hosting Rails on them. But to be honest, if the key selling point of Ninefold, from my point of view, is that they've given us the HTTPS for free on a custom domain. I have an offer from Heroku, which I maybe will double check, to have 6 months of that for free. And I think overall I feel Heroku's offering is more polished. I mean, to a certain extent, it's up to people like Michael. I mean, I guess if somebody's really interested in looking into Docker and helping us stay with Ninefold and wants to explore that, then they're welcome to do so, and I'm very interested to see the results of that. I don't feel personally at the moment like, oh yes, I want to work out how to stay with Ninefold necessarily. Our main contact person there has been kind of laid off, and it's unclear to me what our future with Ninefold is. So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, well, I guess what I was going to say was we might just now do a quick. What I should have done yesterday, really, is do a quick vote with the developers on sort of the complexity of some of the stories. I mean, Rachel, you're certainly not required for that, and you guys, if you want to sort of get your office back, go ahead and do that. But Jit, if you wanted to stay in for that, you're more than welcome to be involved in it. I thought we might spend the next 8 minutes voting on a couple of stories. Does that sound reasonable to everyone? I mean, Rachel, if we've finished the main part of the meeting.
Yeah. I think we'll both come out, and Jit said he'll watch it afterwards.
Okay, yeah, no, that's fine. Great.
I just had a question that just thought, with the data that's on there, is there a simple way that it can be downloaded into an Excel spreadsheet or something similar? To do it as a...
Yeah, in principle. Yeah. I mean, I guess one could get an export functionality. I mean, there's an extent to it. I think I did do that, and I dumped it into the MailChimp. So a lot of the data is available in MailChimp.
Okay. If we wanted to have an updated dump of data, would that be something you could do through MailChimp?
Are you talking for the orgs?
Yeah, I think really for the organisation. So, for example, it might be useful for us to have a list in an Excel spreadsheet of all the organisation's details, like their name, their address, their email address, that sort of thing.
Yeah, and what would be that would be just so that you could use that internally to do your own kind of searches on it, or?
Yeah, it'd be internally, yeah.
Yes, I mean that's something. I wonder if we've got CSV. I'm just wondering if we have already, if we have any kind of. I mean, there's sort of a feature there which would be, export data from site into CSV formats, which you could then open in Excel.
Yeah.
And I mean, as a site admin, so that I can explore data.
We definitely want it as a site admin. We wouldn't want it to be accessible to the.
Yeah.
The public.
Will be more for the super admin, so that I can explore data in Excel. I would like to be able to download CSV of all data. Yeah, that would be an interesting piece of functionality to try and add. I mean, I wonder if it would almost be simpler to connect it up to MailChimp and make the the MailChimp thing synced, and then probably you can get that functionality from MailChimp already. That's just would we get more value from live simply to MailChimp. Because in principle, the MailChimp list can contain all of the information that we have. And then that would mean, we kind of get two birds with one stone.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter to me whether it's through MailChimp or the website.
Indeed. Yeah, and that's something for us to explore separately. Yes. Well, thank you. That's an interesting, good to know. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. Anything else? Otherwise, we'll catch up with you same time next week.
Okay, thanks, Sam. Thanks everyone.
Cheers. Thanks. Bye for now.
Bye.
Michael. So maybe should we just do 5 minutes? We'll just do some voting on stories, which will be the first time we've done this in a kind of cross-virtual form. But so the stories that we've got, let's save that on there. So at least the one we've been talking about is this meaningful URLs rather than IDs in URLs. So let's at least vote on this. So. Just so really clear, I mean, the idea with this one is that at the moment we have these pages like organizations 405 edit, and so we would be switching over so we could be having human readable URLs. And Anna and Peter found the gem that is the same gem that the website 1 people use. And so does anybody need any further clarification about what this feature would entail?
No.
No. And then, well, if so, what we do, and this will be the first time for Peter and Chris and Anna, is what we usually do. We're doing this, and we're all remote, and Peter's remote. 1, 2, and 3. 1 for simple, 2 for intermediate, 3 for complex. And my rule of thumb is usually if it's just sort of a fairly straightforward update to a view, then it's 1. If we're touching the database a bit, and it might change the way we interact with the database, then it's a 2. And then if it's like there's quite a complex UX thing and there's more database and there's just new gem and this, that, and the other, I kind of maybe go for a 3. But the important thing is not necessarily what number we come up with, is that we expose our different assumptions about whether it's difficult or hard. So I guess what we should do is what we usually do in the group thing is we see 3, 2, 1, and then we would get in a number in here, like 1, 2, or 3, and then we'd all hit return at the same time. So we've got an interesting thing here where I guess if we in order to do it sequentially, so I'd say to Pete and Michael, think of the number between 1, 2, or 3, and type it into the group chat, but don't yet hit return. And I'll put us onto camera here, and we'll use our fingers, and we'll try and do this. So, and I'll do a 3, 2, 1 count, and I'll say go, and Anna and Chris and myself will put fingers in the camera, but Michael and Pete will put numbers in the group chat. Everybody understand the plan? I'll take that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll take that as a yes. So, ready? 3, 2, 1, go! You've got to see if they can see. There we go. So actually, we're all 2s here. Actually, and we're unanimous on a 2. That's how I like. Yeah. Oh, awesome. There we go. Right. So we can then put that. We've estimated that as a 2. No need for further discussion. Excellent. So we've got. Now, so to a certain extent, from the client point of view, she's been fairly clear that this is of lower priority to her than this other one here, but that's already been voted on. We can look at that separately if you want interested in that. I guess what we have had there is we've got a few of these ones here. Obviously, she just mentioned the exporting the date from site into the CSV format. There's that related feature which is allowing the super admin to upgrade individual users to site admin. Nothing changed. Does anybody have an interest in any of these stories? Like, I don't know if we necessarily got time to vote on all of them. I'll just highlight them. So we've got at the moment, if you haven't updated your charity for over a year, then when you log in again, it puts a little banner in the flash saying, "Oh, please update your charity." We could be trying to make that happen via email. So people haven't logged into the site for a long time. We could do a mail and say, "Oh, by the way, your listers." Yeah, indeed, could be connected to MailChimp. We have a non-MailChimp mailing solution at the moment. The general connecting up to MailChimp is something that we, quite sensibly would be doing. We did a sort of a dump and made a MailChimp list, but we haven't made that interact. We haven't connected up so that it, what we could have is a button that would be synced to MailChimp or anything. So which was what I was mentioning in the context of this.
Yeah.
We were looking before. I don't know if you saw. This is a related organisation.
I saw the video.
Right. So these guys have got these different icons, and they've got the so on. Not that we would necessarily be replicating exactly those icons in our site, but we have these volunteer things which have a different kind of icon.
Do you want to share your screen?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I did. Accept. That one. Right. Yeah. So there's an issue of like should there be like a little key at the bottom here? In particular, actually, more pressingly perhaps than the volunteer ones, is that on the main site at the moment we've got two types of icons. We've got the big ones and the small ones, and we know that the big ones mean that these are ones that have been updated in the last year, and the small ones are not. But you guys didn't know that there, and it's the kind of thing that we could have some sort of key at the bottom. Yeah, there could be a legend at the bottom, like so. Yeah, and so this was the thing about improving that nothing changed banner when it does come up. Does anybody have an interest in voting on? Does anybody have interest in any of these features? Because that would, we could just vote on one more and choose which one that was. Unless people are otherwise happy and working on the existing voted for features, then maybe we don't need to vote anymore. Pete, any interest in particular features? Not that you have to start working on them immediately, just we can vote on them now, and that means, in a week or 2 weeks, if one's looking for a new feature, then they're already voting.
Nothing in particular. Definitely come up with something afterwards, though.
Yeah.
Nothing grabs me just yet. Try and concentrate on. I know Rachel said she didn't seem it was that important, but at least try and have a look at the this URL thing to start with.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know. I mean, for me, it's just getting started, and to kind of see. Perhaps from my point of view, is just get used to it all and try and pick a feature that should be that I can actually do. If that makes sense. Hopefully.
I'm just sorry, I know that's really bad. Quite a lot of times on Twitter stuff.
Yeah.
That's what I was just doing before.
Right.
So something like that legend thing, probably do that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Should we just quickly vote on the legend thing?
Sure.
My brain is now not.
It's right there. It says some way to indicate when the account's made.
Okay. Yeah. So should we just do I'll put the video back on, and we'll do another of these. So everybody clear about how this voting system works. If they are, without further explanation or ado, we'll go back to video. Michael and Pete, if you want to get your.
Can you hear me, Sam?
I can hear you, Pete. Yes.
Oh, that's good. The voting, I just voted on Slack. Are you voting? Are you voting somewhere else? I figured you were because I saw no one else come up with a number on Slack.
Slack popped up your vote immediately, so I did see it. You could actually just do it with your hand. If you would.
Because we can see you on the
We
camera.
can see you. So feel free to. I mean, basically, all of these different. There is a kind of a chat built into the Google Hangout, but if you can't. Anyway, yeah. I mean, there were other things that like we could have last updated information in the directory. The kind of key under the map does seem like the kind of obvious way to go.
Yeah. And as you've got two different types of icons, and you get them in at some point.
Use of being and so yeah. So should we go for we'll do a 3, 2, 1. We'll go. Any further discussion on what this involves required? I'll take that as a no. All right. 3, 2, 1, go. And Michael's gone for 1.5. We've got Anna and I on 1s, and it looks like Pete's telling us to live long and prosper, so that's a good thing. But there's a 2 there, I guess. And Michael's gone for 1.5, so there's a kind of there's a distribution there.
It's more erring on the side of caution.
Yeah,
just in case. It was more just thinking, okay, well, it's relatively straightforward to get that, but I probably have to maybe screen capture or get the icon from somewhere. I'm not entirely sure.
I think we've got all of the icons are in the like the project.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. I would. Being cautious, you'd revise the one.
I didn't know that. You see, at the time.
Indeed, which is great. We expose these things. Yeah, absolutely. Pete and Michael, did you want to? Now we've got a majority of 3 1s. Did you want to add Michael and Peter your concern? Why Michael? You were thinking 1.5. Pete, why were you thinking 2?
I could go 1 or 2, but I was just thinking 2 because there will be a little bit of a design issue with what will look good and what will work.
Yeah, but I think that we can probably exclude that from the in that we can do a thing and we can show it to the client, and it may then cause it to go around again. But but Pete, you were muted there. I think you were talking away.
No, I didn't say anything. I just went 2 because I don't think it would be sort of super difficult. But then again, from my point of view, it probably won't be really easy either.
No, and of course, when you're new to the system and there's like all making whatever, it's kind of so we could. If Chris has stood his ground after my explanation, then we could have gone with the 2. I think, given that Chris brought us over the 1, I'm tempted to give this a 1. And if it turns out to be more complex than that, that informs our future voting on this as a feature. So maybe let's go with a 1 because
we've got the assets.
We've got the assets. In principle. Famous last words, but yes.
I always err on the side of caution.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, I think we've covered. There we go. And since we've got all of us together, is there anything else that we need to discuss as a group? Obviously, I can help Chris and Anna and Pete individually. Michael, anything that we need to work out?
No. Right now.
Yeah,
it's a big problem.
No, nothing else from me. I can speak to you anyway.
Cool. Well, and in principle, we'll see what it's like. Graduation tomorrow. Potentially, we could have a local sport retrospective at 4:30 tomorrow. That way, it might be nice to reflect on what's moving involved and where things are going. But otherwise, I guess we'll wrap this meeting up. And I'll catch up with Michael, with you anon. And thanks very much.
All right, bye.
All right, bye for now. Okay. Thanks, Pete. See you. Who knows when we'll see Pete again?